Creative Thought Process Journal. Day 1. I wanted to explore the backstory of my character. How was it created? Why was it created? Why is it the only thing left on the ship? My favorite fictional stories are considered speculative fiction. The works of Harlan Ellison stand out as my greatest source of inspiration, so I felt inspired to write this city after reading one of my favorite stories by him, The Departed. It inspired me to imagine a dark, dank, and dreary atmosphere within my ship. Things like how the ship runs autonomously, how exactly the relationship between the parts in the ship and its inhabitants work, what other things could lie within would also be interesting to explore as well. Writing to me offers a chance to explore a story in a way that can be interpreted differently reader to reader and what kind of picture they paint in their head. Day 2. I used a pen and paper to sketch out new ideas for the improvement the company would have made to make the model better and more efficient. Tank treads instead of legs, more compact weapons, and less exposed vital areas, along with various mechanical updates. These models would be more expensive and therefore less plentiful, mostly used to protect the higher value cargo. I wanted them to have a cleaner and sleeker feel to reflect the cargo they protect. The tank treads allow for faster and smoother travel along the flat metal floors than the stiff legs originally designed for the G23. For the conceptual game I created, I would use this as more powerful enemy later in the game. These improvements would provide a greater challenge for the player with increased mobility and scanning capabilities to the model, making it far more formidable. Day 3. I began using a new drawing software and explored different brushes for creating something that represents my character. I did a simple painting of an intruder fleeing from the original model. I wanted to make what I imagined the general aesthetic of the game would be, dark steel hallways with very simple design due to the lack of humans. There will be a little light on the station again due to the lack of necessity for the automations walking around. Therefore, you will not be able to make out the entire appearance before it kills you, creating more mystery and suspense for the player. I wanted to use this painting as a reference when I had gotten better to laugh at how bad I used to be. It made me want to do further expansions on the design and sketch it out using a digital sketchpad. Day 4. I wanted to go over the design once more and finalize it before I drafted a game with the character in mind. I used the digital art software to do another sketch of what his design would be, with various notes and comments to make improvements if I choose to revisit this character. Again, art quality aside, I feel made several quality improvements to the model that would have been reflected in iterative design and found in most manufacturers. The simple and clean design of the new model contrasts greatly from the makeshift and rusted appearance of the G23. This clear upgrade would be visually recognized by the players that it was more formidable and intimidating. Day 5. For the final day, I took all my design sketches, as well as using my midterm as a starting point, and I created a game design document for the game I had conceived. I went into further details of what the game would be and about and contain, following the general design of a GDD. I further explored what kind of game it could potentially be, citing references and inspiration from other works to document the general aesthetic I would portray. I play and watch a lot of horror media, and I wanted the dark, desolate feeling of being alone that so many in games get across to be what I would focus on. I wanted the gameplay to potentially further than that sense of fear, so the player wouldn't be given any means of defending themselves. Games that do this can be very scary, but there needs to be something to compensate. If I were to continue developing this past the GDD, I'd probably focus more on making the gameplay the focus, and make that interesting with good level design. I prefer making shorter and more compact experiences rather than long empty games, and I feel this matches the design mentality well. I did my best to include everything normally found in a GDG that would fit this game, and include visuals for what I would generally want the game to look like using references from games and films. They are usually constantly expanding, however, if development continued, things might be changed or taken out. What I have now could be used for a project going forward or as a jumping off point, and many times developers use these old ideas from games that never left the GDD phase and incorporate them into their most successful products later on. Learning this through class and online videos made me more satisfied with creating smaller scale ideas that don't always fully pan out into the final product.